Okay, so this is going to be a quick video of well, just getting an NSM wall hanging jukebox set up and ready to go. Just the sort of very basic ins and outs. Let's say you bought one of these and you were just gonna, wondering where everything was, what everything does. This isn't going to be a super in-depth thing because I'm not at all an expert on this, but yeah. So let me just get right into it here. So obviously the simple stuff. That makes the pages move. Pretty straightforward. When you want to play a song, CD number 64, track number 40 or whatever, and then you'd punch that in and it'll play. So that part's pretty straightforward. There's a couple of controls that are hidden under here. On the right, where my hand is, so down, I guess on the left, sorry. On the left side of the jukebox, there's some buttons, and you'll find one of them is for the volume, one of them is for, actually two of them are for volume. One's for volume up, one's for volume down, and then the other one is a cancel switch, which will cancel whatever song is playing. So left-hand side, tucked up underneath. There's an on and off switch on the right-hand side, and that's just a little toggle switch. Once it's on the wall, all this will be hidden and tucked in behind the wall. If you need to turn it off, that's how you would turn it off. Obviously, power cord is there. You can, use whatever length power cord. This one comes with this one, but you might need a longer one because it depends. It depends on your setup. So that's kind of that. So this is where the speakers come out on this particular one. In this case, it's got like a little contact block here, like a stereo style one. I probably don't need to explain how that works, but that's your left and right channels, positive and negative. Once you've got this sort of sorted out, and you're going to mount it on the wall, this little tucked in area here is a good place to kind of bundle it up and just stick it in. Make sure, obviously, that these metal things aren't touching anything, but there is kind of room to just kind of let it rest in there. What else? Basically, that's the mount. I guess this is kind of important, eh? So this obviously this is the bracket that goes on the wall, and that is holding up this big heavy thing, which I don't know. It probably weighs easily. I don't know. I'm sure this weighs well over 150 pounds. It's a commercial product, so I mean it's super heavy and super solid. So this needs to go into like a big, thick, wall stud like this. Make sure that this is in something solid that can support the weight of this big, heavy thing. But yeah, it's like mounting a great big, heavy, big screen TV. So this goes on the wall first. Make sure it's good and solid, and then you see these hooks here. You and a couple of buddies would get everything lined up back here. Make sure everything's in tight, and just hoist it up and stick it on there. So that's that. There is a shipping bolt that I'm going to show you how to get to. Obviously, keys there. When you're attaching this to the wall, in this one here, you can if you lift this this is where all the pages are. There's a little catch here. You can just pull it towards you and lift. There we go. And back in here, there is a shipping bolt, which I'm going to point to you here difficultly with one hand. Difficultly? That's a word, yeah. There's a shipping bolt there. You remove that, obviously, before, you can't take the bracket off until you've removed that. Once you've got everything mounted and secured, you put that shipping bolt back on there so that it's, just so that it can't come off the bracket. Not that it would, but anyway, it's just, it's there. And then, putting this back, obviously you've got to kind of push it over the hump because there's a bit of a catch in there. Be mindful, anytime you're moving any of this, make sure that everything goes back in and nothing gets squished. And then I guess the other thing is changing CDs. That's kind of a big one. So changing CDs, both of these this is the left one, the right one, they're labeled like this because they are removable. I'm not going to take them completely out because I only have one hand to work with, but if you push that little button, you can fold these out, and just ever so carefully, you can, obviously they're numbered, so CD 0 is this one, and so on and so on and so on. And as you're going through these, if you're going to replace one with something, you would, let's say you were going to do CD64. You would go down to CD64 and pull that out, change the CD. Now, when you get to this part and you're changing this is, so you've got to be extremely, and again, I only have one hand to work with here, but these pages, they're just very delicate, and they can jam and bind, and these are sort of older machines, so what can happen very easily is if these little corners, if these little tabs don't all get folded in perfectly. Well, actually, I'll show you. So, obviously you've got, this is the paper that comes with the CD. So that goes in there, and this plastic film is holding it in there tight, right? Because all these pages have to slide together. So when you remove this, you pull it all out, and it comes out, and you would slide in the new paper. And then you've got to get it back in, and when you put it back in, you have to make sure that it's like all these little, boy, and one-handed, I'll tell you, this is not fun. But whoever's doing this, the new owner who's doing this will have two hands to work with. So there you go. So yeah, just make sure that all of them go back in, and all the corners have to be tight because there's very tight tolerances. And I mean, obviously, if one of those little things is out of place, it's going to jam and you're going to have a bad day. So just be very careful. So yeah, once you've messed with all that, this just slides back in and it should click. There we go. And this side's the same. I don't think I need to show you that. It's just the other numbers are there and half the numbers are there. Pretty straightforward. I think I use this. I don't know if I pointed it out, but there are buttons to move the pages while you're in here to make it easier to change stuff. That's basically it setting one up. This switch up here is the service switch, and in this particular case, to put this one into free mode, the service switch is pulled out. So when it's out, it's in service mode. When it's in like normal mode, and when it's in normal mode, you have to actually put money in it. So leave it in service mode with that out, and it'll be on free play. And basically, that's pretty much all you need to know, I think. There you go. That should get you started. All right.